jukebox to listen to that song. That was a song, man.
Hallmark Jewelers. Every single one.
It's the final video. Welcome back to another episode of the West Coast Davengers, but not just any episode. It's the final video inside of this room and this house. You're wondering, Dave, why do you look like a $2 haggard piece of trash? Well, I've been moving all day. I haven't just been moving all day. I bought a collection. But before we get started, hit the like button, subscribe, drop a comment down below. If you comment on my looks, I'll clap back. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Yes, I am moving. This is gonna be the last video that was ever shot here. It's very echoey in here because there's nothing in here anymore except this. So the next time you see this beautiful face, I will be at the new studio shooting in a brand new location. This was an interesting one. Last night, I just happened to be on my local Facebook marketplace. And 13 minutes after this got posted, I saw the listing for an estate sale. The picture for the main picture for the estate sale was really bad. It was poorly advertised. But I did get to a photo that had a table with piles of what looked like Bronze Age horror and war books, as well as a metric fuck ton of coverless books. So I messaged the person around 6 p.m., 6:30, whatever it was, and I said, hey, is there any chance I could come and look at this tonight? I'd probably buy all the comics. And she replied and said,
let me get back to you within the hour, and I'll let you know.
About an hour later, she got back to me and she said,
tomorrow's going to be better.
I said, okay, what time does it start? And will there be a list? Because estate sales usually have a list system, but this one, she said it doesn't. It starts at 10 a.m., so she said come at 10. And, you know, I'm not going to just come at 10 o'clock. It's not my first rodeo. So I showed up around 9:15. I just sat in my car. I was just kind of like waiting to see if they were outside at all. A car pulls up, and like an old lady gets out with a young kid, and an old man gets out, and they go right in. And I'm like, wait, what? So I waited like 10 minutes and I got out of my car and I was like, wait, I thought the estate sale didn't go on until 10. And she actually opened the door and she said,
you're going to have to wait a couple of minutes.
So why don't we go to the footage? I filmed the whole thing. I bought everything. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out all the really good stuff, because I haven't completely looked through everything, instead of going book by book and making an hour and a half video. But I will tell you this. You'll see it in the video. But as soon as I started looking through these books, I realized I was looking at a military collection. What that means is it is a primarily completely Mark Jeweler collection. So, all right. So watch the footage, and when we come back, you'll see.
I heard somebody talking out there.
Yes.
All right, we're here.
Pounding the doors down.
All right.
Well, my wife and I are here. Search in the garage.
What's your
living room?
Oh, wow.
So,
Those, sorry.
little post-it notes that are on there.
I don't know nothing about them, but I want to grab them.
That's the price.
For the whole bundle.
Well, that's the price for the comic when I looked them up.
Right, but you're saying it's $25 per bundle or per
No,
comic?
just per copy.
Oh.
So obviously, I'm not selling it for $25. It's either half or more or less.
Half or less. All right, well.
So if you look at I wish it was by bundle.
Oh.
It could be.
I could be, but I just don't have. I ran out of time.
It could be. Well, he's the comic guy.
So,
You
and
make
I'm-
a big deal.
Well, I'd be willing
wanna
to
sell
take a
them,
bunch
so
for...
reasonable. So.
Yeah.
But I had to have a starting point, so that's why I went through it.
How much are the records?
But, $3, I think.
Wasted days and wasted nights.
CDs and cassettes.
I remember putting money in the jukebox to listen to that song. That was a song, man.
Hallmark Jewelers. Every single one.
Sets and CDs are back here. There's also 33s. Anybody ever heard of 33s?
Of course.
Right.
This is a record guy right here.
78s.
Or not 33, 78s. I'm sorry. Those are 78s. Back from
He doesn't do 78s. I try to sell him some for you.
Those things,
well, that was before 45s. That was
yeah,
the,
you look at those things the wrong way and you're great.
yeah, they do. They're pretty thick. Strangely enough, they're thick. Some more in there. There's more. Well, no, yeah, there's a lot more in there. There's a bedroom and.
Is this where all the comics?
Downstairs is clothes. And,
That's where I'm going. Close.
Is this where all the comics are? Just in here?
yes. Just here. Yeah.
Did you find anything that you thought was worth hundreds?
I did.
And what'd you do with them?
No, I just have them inside. I was working on them.
I would love to see those.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a huge pile, but I need to get at least a deal on it. I will
Well,
spend
sure.
money. I will spend money.
Okay. Okay.
So, but I do want to look at the.
All right. I'll go grab them. I hadn't finished them. That's
Okay.
They're not there.
Let's see.
Again, don't know where they're at. Not all these are hundreds. but
Yeah, that's
there
a.
you can see.
You're pricing it off graded.
You probably know more about what you're looking at than I do.
That's what I love.
So the number that's on there is the lookup price.
Just try to.
So we're here to sell them.
Yes. I mean, I know that's the objective of an estate sale, or any sale for that matter.
Right. Well, these were in Foot Locker for years.
Were they military?
Yeah, you see the Foot Locker?
Yeah, yeah.
there? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where they were.
That makes sense. Yep.
Somebody did.
Nicholas.
That's a mystery. I died last night too.
Some of them even look brand new. I mean,
Yeah, some of them are
considering they've been sitting in a locker for.
well, that's pretty cool.
Again, that was
Yeah.
obviously that's probably a untouched copy or something.
Right off the top,
Yeah, it's definitely been
like a mitt.
handled. I mean,
Yeah,
is that everything?
that's everything.
There was no Tomb of Dracula 10 in there?
No, just what you see there.
All right, well, let me keep looking, but those two
Okay.
piles,
These two?
yes.
Please don't forget, I have a podcast called Direct Edition. It's got its own YouTube channel. It's on every major streaming platform, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, etc. Check out my recent interview with Mickey, aka Swagglehouse. It's a great interview about his film and TV and movie career. And I have a website also, westcoastdavengers.com. You can pretty much find all of the stuff that I put on the internet right there on the website. And I'm going to have my store up and running soon, but for right now, my eBay store is up there. And don't forget, every other Wednesday is West Coast Wednesday, my comic claim sale. Now back to the video.
This person collected
And there's a few of them, but
horror and
there's even. Well, he was a soldier, so
right,
there are some GI ones.
lots of war books, yeah,
Yeah.
but mostly in the horror genre. Would you just take $600 for all the comics?
What's that?
$600?
$600 for all the comics?
Yeah.
Let me talk to my wife.
Sure.
I don't think I have a phone. Good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm like, might as well just make an offer. Let me see what. Dave,
Did you text me?
I did. That was me. Yeah. One, two, three, four.
And I tried to make them all early so you could look at them.
That's where I'm going. Close.
All right. It just took me an hour to go through all this, but it was awesome. I have to say this is by far the biggest come up. What fucking animal is that? Okay. I have to say this is the biggest come up I've ever had when it comes to Mark Jewelers. So what you're looking at in front of you this long box, which is all but full, and, you know, I can fit my hand in there. Every single one of these books is Mark Jewelers. Every single one of these books. I mean, there's coverless Mark Jewelers, there's war books, there's Gold Key, there's DC, there's Marvel. It's absolutely incredible. Now, I'm going to go through like the standouts and some of the cool stuff. So let's just start with some cool coverless stuff. Let's say Amazing Spider-Man 102, the second appearance of Morbius, because it's Morbin time. A couple of Jack Kirby coverless books, including Mr. Miracle 8 and Jimmy Olsen 187. That'll be used for the next volume of The Many Faces of Jack Kirby, the zine that I self-published with my buddy Andrew, and you can still buy them from me. By the time you see this, there might be only 10 copies left. So here's where I'm starting to think, maybe this guy took something out. Here's a House of Secrets coverless 99. I also found a 91. So, you know, I don't want to think that this guy took out the House of Secrets 92, but, you know, I'll go back. I'll talk to him tomorrow. Maybe grease his palms a little bit. A couple of Dracula Lives magazines. I believe this is issue 5 and this is issue 4. This is the first time I've ever seen a Turok Gold Key Mark Jeweler, but I just thought that was a nice little note. House of Mystery 224 100-page giant. There was a couple of different 100-page giants in there, including Witching Hour 38. A lot of this stuff, while not in near mint condition at all, there's a lot of these books that are VF and these 100-page giants and being stored in a Foot Locker for 50 years in VF condition. I'll take that. So that's Batman 256 and Batman 254 100-page giants. This cover, I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe this book is a Neil Adams cover. I always loved it. Unexpected 148 from DC. That's also, you guessed it, a Mark Jeweler variant. So yeah, here's the here's the House of Secrets 93. Ugh, so close. And I just, you know, it's pretty messed up. There's even tape on the cover, but I still think that there is a shot that this guy took it out. Like said he was trying to price this stuff. You'll see the biggest book that I got today. It had a price sticker on it of $675 is the high price. You know, like he didn't know how to price. He didn't know what he was looking at. House of Secrets 94. Come on, a 93 and a 94, but no 92. Come on, what's the chances of that? We're going to see a couple more books like that. For example, a Conan 24, the first cover and first full appearance of Red Sonja. And yes, that is a Mark Jeweler. For those of you that don't know what a Mark Jeweler is, Mark Jewelers is a company that started sometime, I actually have no clue, but I'm going to guess it started in the 50s, early 60s out of California. And the gist of their company, as per the centerfold ad, is these nice looking rings for military servicemen to buy either for themselves or for their girlfriend for when they come home. And the thing that's interesting about these is that the inserts were only found in comics that were available at military newsstands or through the military. So all of these books from the 70s were purchased by military service members. They may have been purchased here in Washington by Joint Base Lewis McChord, which is one of the biggest military bases in the country, or they might have been purchased on the newsstand in Germany or wherever these guys were stationed at that time. And what's really cool about them is that adds obviously to the rarity factor, because it's only a very small percentage of the overall print run. Some say 2 to 4%, 2 to 5%. But the cool thing is like there's an added history to these books. They may have gone overseas and come back. They may have been with somebody that might have been killed in action and it was sent to the family afterwards. The possibilities are endless. It might have been that they never actually saw any active duty. They just were at the base and they wanted to buy comics. So it's just, these books could have traveled all over the world. They didn't really have proper storage overseas. I've heard one service member talk about how they did have bags but no boards, but I think most of these guys just kept them in stacks at their Foot Locker. Conan 14, the first appearance of Elric as well. Mark Jeweler. I just thought this is cool. I don't think it's a key, but it's a Brave and the Bold 111 Mark Jeweler Batman teaming up with the Joker. Just a fun little Jim Aparo cover. Here's a classic one. This is also a Mark Jeweler. Batman 244. Classic Neil Adams cover of Ra's al Ghul defeating Batman. Part of the Ra's al Ghul saga. Okay, so next up is another Bernie Wrightson cover. This is not a Mark Jeweler, but I do love me some Bernie Wrightson. House of Mystery number 204. It does have the star stamp indicating that it was purchased on a military base, so maybe either this one was never a Mark Jeweler. While this is a key in itself, this is the second appearance of Blade, Tomb of Dracula 12. There is no Tomb of Dracula 10. And then we've got the third appearance of Blade. These are all Mark Jewelers and Tomb of Dracula 13. And then it just keeps going. 14, 15, 16. You're starting to see a pattern here, aren't you? 17, 18, 19. Not one Mark Jeweler Tomb of Dracula 20, but two Mark Jeweler Tomb of Dracula 20s. And then finally, it ends with 21. Now, I'm going to show you the biggest book that I got. Now, granted, this book would have been worth 4 times what it's worth now if I had gotten this about a year and a half, 2 years ago. But this book being in here, which you saw me get, is a Marvel Special Edition 15. The first appearance of Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu. And yes, it is a Mark Jeweler. It's in great shape. For situationally, I'd say it's probably about a 6.5, 7.0. The fact that this is in here kind of says to me, like, if you're going to take out the most expensive books, if you found a Tomb 10 or you found a House of Secrets 92, why leave this in here? Sure, not as popular as Swamp Thing or Blade by any means, but to somebody that doesn't know anything about comics, that is looking up prices, you know. So I'll go back there tomorrow and I'll just talk to him. Really nice gentleman. I don't think he was lying when he said this was everything. There is a chance that he saw a Mark Jeweler House of Secrets 92 listed at $10,000 or a Tomb 10 Mark Jewelers listed at $8,000 and said, oh, I can't sell this at a garage sale. But anyway, I paid $600 for everything. Obviously, it's a fucking great deal. I took a shot at it. I was expecting him to go high or say, oh, you know, give me $1,000. But he said, okay, at $6. So, I mean, for an estate sale of people just trying to get rid of a bunch of stuff, like we had that conversation, you're doing this for one thing. You're doing this to sell stuff. So I'm really excited about some of this stuff. I know some of you will be excited probably by the time you see this video. Some of this stuff will be ready for sale. Something just flew into my eyes. Either way, I love the hunt. I love doing this stuff. I love showing it off to y'all. So once again, this is going to be the last video you'll ever see from this room. And this is the last video I'm recording from this room. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, all that jazz. Check out the podcast. And I'll see you next time on the West Coast Davengers. It's the final video. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. It's the final video.